Hi, I'm Eric Kim, cooking columnist for the New York Times, and you're watching Recipe Quest. Come on in and take a look. We're going to show you the behind the scenes of a single recipe, all of the work that goes into that recipe, all the inspirations that are drawn from the outside world. There's a lot of reporting that goes into each recipe. In addition to the testing, it's just a way for me to show you what I do every day. Our food item today is chicken karaage. There are so many versions, and today I'm going to show you how I've arrived at my version. Today, we are on a mission to taste as many chicken karages as possible. Japanese fried chicken. It is one of the best renditions of fried chicken in the world. What makes it very distinct, the ginger and the soy and the calibration of those flavors. One thing I love about it is it's very, very simple to make at home, but it's really hard to get right. There's no one way to cook anything, so we're gonna see how many ways there are. Recipe Quest. We're at 750 Myrtle Diner, Japanese kitchen and grocery. Excited to pop in and have some karaage. Hi. Well, so I was looking at the number 9. That's original, right?
Yep.
Can we get 5-piece of the original?
Okay.
And then the chicken sandwich also, karaage chicken sandwich. And then karaage curry, yeah, we'll do that. And look at that. It smells so good. I'm excited about this. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's so juicy, but I like how clean it is, and it has the right seasoning. I like the crust a lot. I think what's really special about Japanese fried chicken and chicken karaage specifically is that...
Hold on.
Before I was rudely interrupted by New York City.
Hold on again.
Now I have all these questions, or I want to talk to them about it. Do you have any advice for someone who's trying to make karaage at home?
Honestly, just keeping it simple is probably the best way. And definitely recommend using chicken thigh meat. That's definitely juicy and better.
Not many people do egg in their karaage. Can you explain why you did that?
In Japan, karaage is when you use egg. Tatsudage,
Right.
which is just with powder, is type of karaage that doesn't use egg. So there's a different types of karaage in Japan.
Do you say karaage or karaage?
Karaage? Karaage?
Karaage, 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 karaage. I've been saying that, I think, karaage. I just learned so much. Thank you for sharing
Of course,
everything.
thank you very much for coming by.
Thank you, yeah. Really optimistic because that conversation with Kaoru was incredible. I learned so much. I asked him at the very end how he fries his chicken, like what temperature, and he said 160, low and slow. That's like pretty low. 160 Celsius is about 320 Fahrenheit. Most recipes call for double frying, and I just love that he only fries it once at a low temperature because he wants the chicken to come up slowly to temperature to be juicy. And I imagine that time in the oil also helps it to fry. I just always thought the rule was very hot, very quick. So let's go eat some more. Okay, so we're at Acre and just got a single order of karaage. This one's different. It has shoyu mayonnaise. I'm excited to try it. Whoa, really crunchy. Almost frittery the coating is. So this one seems like it's been fried at a higher temperature for a shorter amount of time. This certainly has more flavors running through the chicken itself. It's pretty strong in garlic and ginger. It's just so interesting how every karaage is so different. The thing that surprised me the most was the fact that the chicken at 750 is single fried. So he just fries it once, low and slow for a long time. And this version we just had at Acre, it was super crispy, but it was totally different. I always thought double frying was 100% the way to go. Everything I thought I knew, I'm sort of changing my mind about it based off of the versions we've had so far. We're on the Lower East Side. I like Davelle because it's always consistently good. I think what's really significant about theirs is truly kind of like popcorn chicken size. It's pretty small, but I like that. It's like a side order. It's more assertively seasoned than the 750 one, but less rich than the one we had at Acre. I think Davelle's karaage shows a really important point about this dish, which is it's often a side or an appetizer. I think people think of fried chicken as like the main meal, but I like karage because it's kind of a casual fried chicken. It's a very everyday fried chicken. We're not done yet. We're gonna go have some more. We have our next spot right down the block. So we are on the Lower East Side at Izakaya Juraku. We ordered some beers because we've had a full day of chicken, so the beer is kind of like a little bit of that bitterness and the bubbles. It's something my stomach kind of wants right now.
Karaage, you marinate it longer, so you actually generally marinate from 5 hours to overnight.
Can I ask what temperature?
350.
Okay.
Yeah, is our deep fry temperature.
And do you do just one single fry or?
For the karaage, yes.
This is his karage with a spicy mayo. I love how it looks. It looks so cool. This is the same thing, but with grated daikon over it, and there's a little bit of sauce. That's excellent. Spicy mayo is always good. Wow, it's really refreshing. This is definitely something I would order for dinner for myself, like this and rice with some beer. This has been a great day. I love my job. The big question I have for you is karage supposed to be crunchy?
In my experience, no. Karaage is not meant to be crispy on the outside. Cooking here in the United States as well as cooking in Japan, I've never really had crispy karaage. Ours is crispy, but that was something that we have gone and modified the recipe to make it crispy.
I love that. I love these little details. I have like a spreadsheet in my brain right now.
Oh, really?
So we just had an amazing meal at Izakaya Juraku. What really blew me away was the karage with the grated daikon and the dressing and the mustard seeds. Mustard and wasabi, those are kind of like common through lines through these dishes. It's ways to dress or bedeck a karage. Rude. How dare everyone be so loud in the middle of Houston Street? So we just got a to-go order from Raku. Okay, let's try this. It's warm. That's the brownest we've ever seen it. Like most evenly browned, right? I like this. It's very different. God, they're all so different. The title for this video is like, no one has a definition of what karage actually is. It's a very thin coating, almost like cornflakes or something. But it's not that crispy and it's delicious. Let's try it with the sauce. Whoa. This is like not supposed to be about the sauce, but it's the one way people are really differentiating themselves. So overall, I think a really good way to spend the day, bopping around the city and having as many karage as we can fit in. We had 5 different ones, but even at each place, there were different variations. I learned so much. All 5 were so different. I'm gonna go home and try my hand at my own karage. So we are in my studio apartment. Sometimes I joke that this is just my studio and I don't have a living space. It's a small kitchen, but it's efficient. I have my recipe here, drafted out. I'm excited to test out some details. Yeah, so let's cook. I figured I would try this karage recipe. I'm really excited. It's so fragrant. It has sake, mirin, soy sauce. I can't wait to see how it works. Nice. It's good, but that's not good. The whole carapace fell out, but really good flavor. You know, honestly, I think I'm gonna keep them kind of big. Remember the chicken at Myrtle Diner? It was like kind of this big, 2.5 inches across and like 1.5 this way. I've tried frying with many oils. I did a batch with peanut oil, which is great, but it was kind of too flavorful almost. I really like the neutral flavor of canola oil. Just cornstarch. That is egg, then cornstarch. This is cornstarch, egg, cornstarch. So, we'll see. So we're back in the studio. I'm excited to show you my final karage recipe. We're gonna have a little party later. but I'm gonna show you from start to finish how to do this, and you're gonna wanna do it for your family and friends. To start, you really do need to set up your station. 1 sheet pan, 1 saucepan. The saucepan is important. You could use a Dutch oven, but that would require more oil. Another thing is a spider. It's nice to be able to get all of those chicken pieces at once. The first step is, wow, that's a huge piece of ginger. That's amazing. It looks like a fossil, like a dinosaur, like bone. You need a 2-inch piece soy sauce for savoriness and salinity, of course. There's nothing like chicken karaage right out of the fryer with some sake or beer. Granulated sugar. This gets mixed together. Fine sea salt or coarse kosher salt. Boneless, skinless chicken thighs. You kind of want big pieces. Some people do it big, some people do like little popcorn chickens. I like bigger pieces, like 2 inches at least, because they stay juicier. Really what I'm after is preserving that meat. When you bite into it, you can be like, that's chicken. Stir these together, and I'm gonna let this sit in the marinade for 30 minutes. Cover it and set it in the fridge, actually, yeah, because food safety. That wasn't a swap at all.
Don't look.
Great. Okay, this has been marinating for 30 minutes. Let's do this. Let's fry. Start heating the oil. Because it's not that much oil, it doesn't take that long to get heated up to 320 degrees. The one thing that I think is sort of non-negotiable is the thermometer. Keep one hand for wet ingredients, one hand for dry ingredients. So 1 piece goes in the egg. I've tried it where you just do it all at once, but it's just not as good because you don't want the cornstarch to get all gunky before you coat. The egg is gonna hydrate the starch a little, and that frying into the oil makes for a really lovely crust. In the time it took the oil to come to temperature, it's at 300 now, it's gonna be 320 soon. I just breaded the last one. Fry in the order in which you have breaded them, because you really don't actually want this to sit like for many, many, many minutes before you fry. It's meant to be fried right away. You don't wanna drop it, just be really like gentle. Just place it in. Don't crowd it, do it in batches. What you really want is for it to stay between 300 to 320. As long as you're in that spot, you're gonna be good. I can feel the crackle of the skin like as I'm tossing them in the oil. So with a spider, you can get a lot of them at once. I'm going to add the rest of the chicken now. Look at this. Looks great, right? I sprinkled it with some sashimi togarashi. This is my favorite, just a little blob of mayo and dipping that in there. That's like a really beautiful bite of food. Hell yeah. Okay, so the first bite I took kind of had a burst of just brightness, almost akin to a salt and vinegar chip. Wow, that was so good. I'm really happy with that, that's good. Wow, what a journey. What a quest, a recipe quest. As a cook or a developer, I know that I can write a recipe that tastes good, but that's not the only thing I'm trying to do when I'm writing recipes. I'm thinking about the reader. My goal was to show you how easy frying can be. And there's nothing like making something for the first time that you've never made before and having it like come out really beautifully. I hope that's what this recipe will do for you. I have some friends on their way. We're gonna fry some chicken. As soon as it comes out of the fryer, I want them to taste it fresh. We're gonna have a nice little meal together. And in order to do that, we need a little set change.
Bon appetit.
Bon appetit, I know. I was like, can we start eating?
Oh my God, Eric.
It's so delicious.
Very juicy.
The lemon brings more of the chicken flavor out.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for watching. If you have any ideas about what quest you would like me to go on next, let us know in the comments. And I hope you learned something about what a recipe developer does. You can find this chicken karaage recipe and many more at New York Times Cooking.